I'm really excited about the next song, Paul.
Oh boy, this was a song I used to do when I was a little kid, even before I knew what it meant. So today, there's this organization where reactionaries and bigots and other idiots can come together, and they call themselves the Tea Party.
We don't want to offend any members of the Tea Party who are here, but we asked Paul to speak his mind, you know.
Well, back in the 50s and 60s, that bunch had an organization called the John Birch Society. And the John Birch Society was founded in, of all places, anybody know? Belmont, Massachusetts, that's right. And the guy who founded it made Welch's, was the owner of the Welch's Candy Factory, who made Sugar Daddies and Junior Mints. So swear off Sugar Daddies and Junior Mints. Another one of the founders was the father of the Koch brothers, those guys who owned part of the House of Representatives. And who was John Birch? Well, John Birch was an army captain who was killed in China just after World War II ended, and so the society claims that made him the first casualty of the Cold War, which, you know, makes about as much sense as anything else they see. They saw communists everywhere. In the media, in the UN, and especially in government agencies. They even accused President Eisenhower of being a communist dupe. Eisenhower was a lot of things, but he was not a communist dupe or any other kind of communist. Well, we don't hear much about these guys anymore, but actually they still exist. But the best thing about them was a song that was written in 1962, recorded by a group called the Chad Mitchell Trio, which we're going to do now. Now, we do need to explain a few references to you, for those of you who aren't old enough to know some of them. Westbrook Pegler was a right-wing columnist and a destroyer of reputations. He was sort of like Bill O'Reilly, but actually a lot more dangerous. The WCTU was the Women's Christian Temperance Union, and these were the people who started the Prohibition movement back in the 19th century, so we've got a little joke about them. And when the Birchers talked about people that they accused of being communists, they broke them up into two different groups, tools and cranks. And so we hear that referred to it. And there's another thing. There are not a lot of songs in the repertoire in which you can hear the rhyme mommy and commie. This is one of them. And there's actually two more that we're going to sing later. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, oh, we're meeting at the courthouse at 8 o'clock tonight. You just walk in the door and take the first turn to the right. Be careful when you get there, we won't leave you bereft, but we're taking down the names of everybody turning left. Oh, we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society, here to save our country from a communistic plot. Join the John Birch Society, help us fill the ranks. To get this movement started, we'll need lots of tools and cranks. Now we're no one that we're certain the Kremlin doesn't touch. We think that Westbrook Pegler doth protest a bit too much. We only hail the hero from whom we got our name. We're not sure what he did, but he's our hero just the same. Oh, we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society. Socialism is the ism, dismalest of all. Join the John Birch Society, there's so much to do. Have you heard they're serving vodka at the WCTU? We'll teach you how to spot them in the cities or the sticks. For even Jasper Junction is just full of Bolsheviks. The CIA's subversive, and so's the FCC. There's no one left but thee and we, and we're not sure of thee, but we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society, here to save our country from a communistic plot. Join the John Birch Society, holding off the Reds. We'll use our hands and hearts, and if we must, we'll use our heads. Oh, beautiful. Do you want Justice Warren to be your commissar? Do you want Mrs. Khrushchev, a member of the DAR? You cannot trust your neighbors or even your next of kin. If mommy is a commie, then you gotta turn her in. Oh, we're the John Birch Society, the John Birch Society, fighting for the right to fight the right, fight for the right. Join the John Birch Society as we're marching on. We'll all be glad to see you when we're meeting in the John
side.